music bug. I got bit with the music bug like pretty early, I think. It started out where I was just banging on pots and pans in my house, and my parents were like, ah! So like pretty much what happened was they got me this like little Amazon like Yamaha drum pad. And I used to just like beat it till my knuckles were raw. And one night they came back from like going out to dinner or something, and they were like, yo, like his knuckles are bleeding. Like, what happened? Like, is he okay? Like asking the babysitter, like, is everything all right? He was like, nah, yo, he's just really excited about drumming. So crazily enough, I actually have my first drum set here with me. My parents shipped it out. This tiny little drum set. And yeah, so my parents kind of upgraded me, got me some sticks, like, and we're just like, yo, let's see what we can do with this. And then, you know, like going on from there, so after like I got my first drum set, I pretty much immediately just like went to the school where I was at. I had like a pretty cool drum teacher. She was crazy though. She was like a villain, yo. I was like a doctor, like 101 Dalmatian style. Like she was like Cruella de Vil. So she just like drilled into me like the process and like how to really actually drum, and like pretty much just told me like make this part of your daily routine, like whether you're watching TV or you're just like talking to your friends, like because I'm tapping on stuff regardless. Like I never stop moving. And I think like from that I ended up learning jazz drumming and got into like, weirdly enough, I got into like the punk rock scene. So I was in this little punk rock band with like 4 of my friends called Shades of Grey when I was like super young. I don't think any music has actually ever came out, but we were just like jamming at the crib. And my brother plays guitar, so we would have these jam sessions. But from there, like I kind of got into like the whole vibe of music and just like taking it full on. And you know, pretty shortly after that, I was in jazz band in high school, and then I ended up I originally went to college, weirdly enough, for food science. I wanted to be like a flavorist and make new soft drink flavors or stuff like that. But I quickly called my mom like halfway through, and I was just like, yo, I gotta go for music. And she was like, okay. So I dropped out, went to music school. And that's where like I think a lot of it really took off. Like, and at that point I had already been like creating songs. There was some substantial movement behind my like the energy of my music. I had been doing some shows, and it got to a point where it was just time to like let go and drop out and do music full time. And I think that's what the song Graduation is really about, is like that moment when I was like, yo, I called my mom again. I was like, yo, I gotta just do this shit full time. She was like, okay. So that's kind of like the very short story. And somewhere along that line, I had met one of my first mentors in this whole thing, Michael Ashby, who's like a super talented producer and mixer. And we really like worked very hard on leveling up my sound. And like, even to the way that I communicate in the studio, like I didn't know the questions to ask. I didn't know like, is this good? Like it was pretty much just like sitting there and trying stuff until we figured out like kind of our own language. It's kind of funny because like sometimes when like other people attend our studio sessions, they'll be like, yo, what is like, how are you guys doing this? Because me and him won't really communicate. It'll be like a mind meld. Like I'll just be like, yeah. And he'll be like, no, the part with the, and I'll be like, yeah, the part with the, yeah. And he'll be like, oh, exactly. And I'll be like, word. And then I'll like spit some shit. So I think like just like spending time together in the studio and like creating this unique language where we could like communicate effectively and efficiently to get ideas out was like really also what took music to like really the next level. I think like the confidence like really came into play early on, where growing up in New Jersey, it's kind of like you don't have a choice. Like you just gotta just be out there and be yourself and be open. Like, and you might get like, and you definitely will if you're from Jersey, like just get shit on for stuff. And I think like having that early on just built a really tough skin where I'm like, I don't care what people think. Like I'm just gonna do whatever I want. And I think like you're right. Like, you know, putting these emotions out and like just being vulnerable to the world, like here's my art, like let me know how you feel about it. Like, you know, it might not always get a positive response from everyone, but I don't even think that's what I'm looking for. Like I'm looking for the people who do care about it, and if they do care about it and they can connect with it, great. If they don't care about it, like all right, whatever, like do your thing, I don't care. So I think like, yeah, the confidence came early just from growing up where I grew up and just being through what I've been through. And I think like doing shows, and just one other thing that helped was going to New York and hitting the streets and just rapping for people, bro. Like you will get flamed if you're trash at that. And luckily for me, like I'm at least decent and I can like hold up freestyling. And I think like going around New York and just like seeing people like positively react to the music, and especially like doing live shows, walking around the crowd, just like participating and like seeing what people actually think. Like, I think I got a lot of positive feedback, and that helped me just be like, maybe I'm doing something kind of right. So I think confidence just comes from like just doing and expressing, and then if it's good or if it's not good, you'll get the feedback like relatively quickly.